hope is to give you the kind of experiences and exposure that first and foremost makes you understand how talented you are, how much. When I was chairman of the State Board of Education, it dawned on me that one of the groups that is in great crisis, young black boys, started the Howard N. Lee Institute because I felt very strongly as chairman of the State Board, communities have not engaged themselves in support of the public school system, and therefore I wanted to at least find a way to bridge that gap. I was born on a sharecropper's farm, grew up there until I was 8 years old. My longing for education originated with my mother. My mother was the product of a broken home. She became a teacher. She put me in the first grade when I was 5 years old. I had the highest grades during that time, but at the end of the year, she refused to promote me because she said I had just done enough to have the highest grades in the class, but I had not done my best, and she was not going to allow me to start life thinking all I needed to do was just stay ahead of folk. That was a hard lesson, but it was also a lesson that I've never forgotten. Well, after college, I had an offer from Duke to participate in an ongoing research program that was funded by the Ford Foundation. And my wife and I then decided we wanted to live in Chapel Hill rather than move to Durham. And we decided to buy a house. We got turned down by realtor after realtor in Chapel Hill until we finally tricked one into selling us a house. And then we lived under the threat of death for the next year, both to ourselves and our children. And I asked the local Board of Aldermen if they would pass an open housing ordinance so no one else would have to go through this, and got turned down twice. It was then that I decided there needed to be a change in leadership in Chapel Hill. We put together the campaign, not believing that I could win, but we recognized it would be a good way to force whoever else ran to commit to the same issues on the campaign trail. And that's how I got in the office and, of course, had what I think was a very successful 6 years, 6.5 years as mayor. I am so delighted that I had the privilege of serving as Secretary of the Department of Natural Resources for a number of reasons. I was able to get connected with state parks, an area that I had very little knowledge about, but I do know North Carolina through the years had struggled with how to integrate the state park system, but also to grow the state park system as a unique system, not just as a destination for tourists, but certainly as a natural park system that would be attractive to people coming in. And out of that, I was able to develop a concept called the Mountains to the Sea Trail that stretch across the state today. I was having breakfast one morning in the IHOP in Raleigh and read the paper that the senator representing our area, Wanda Hunt, was going to resign and join the Martin administration. Immediately I thought, I'd never really wanted to be in the legislature, but here's my chance, because I'd been pushed in that direction years before. And of course, got elected. Now I had to learn how to balance my interests against the interests of people of different persuasions, from being very conservative to being very liberal, from being Republican to being Democrat. And that, of course, is what contributed to my success of being able to work across all kinds of lines. I've never passed a bill that didn't have bipartisan support. I've been very fortunate. The Institute has been in existence since 2011. I no longer really want to just isolate black boys as the target group. I really want to look at socioeconomic as the new focal point, because I'm finding, now that I'm in the schools, that little black girls also have problems that need to be dealt with. But also white boys have problems that need to be dealt with.
Already? I don't know about this. It's becoming a part of you. I think it's time for it to rest. Good job.
But the one thing that I had that was most important of all were dedicated, committed teachers who made me and my classmates believe that no matter how difficult the challenge, no matter how high the barrier, that you must always keep pushing hard and preparing yourself to meet the challenge and be successful. I'm proud that that has stuck with me and that I'm able to give back and pay forward by working with these young people. Work hard this year, apply yourself, and I think it's going to be a great year.